So, hey guys, good evening. Today I'll be talking about how to prepare the digital logic for Gate. So, digital logic is the subject which I personally found is very easy to understand and highly scoreable. There isn't much of a variation when it comes to the digital logic, right? It's the subject where you just need to learn very few concept and you will be able to get the answer right most of the time. Okay, so the weightage is varying for digital logic. It will be somewhere around from 5% to 7%. Now, what I personally recommend is that you don't need to read the book for the digital logic, but if you want to learn something in depth, then you can always go for Maurice Mano. Now, why I am saying you don't need to read the book that much is that the online resources like these three which I had mentioned covers pretty much everything which we required from the gate point of view. And in gate, in digital logic, you won't be seeing much of a theory, right? You will be asked to solve the numericals based on the minimization or the number representation and all that, and there is a very less chance that they will ask you questions on the basis of theory point of view in the digital logic. Okay, so keep that thing in mind. If you have time, then only go for book, or else I will recommend you to just go through these youtube video lectures and right, so learn from them. And if someone of you don't know, I forgot to mention, gate overflow is also the best platform where you should check the solution, right? I personally learned a lot from the gate overflow to understand the previous year gate question, because what happens that is, even if you solve the question, there might be chance that we haven't solved the question in the best optimal way, right? So what I have personally seen is that I may be able to solve the question, but my approach to the question might be the lengthier one. So it's always better to just, if you have a slight doubt, if the question isn't very straightforward, just go over gate overflow and try to read what are the answers written by there, right? So the answers with the most votes, I guess, are put first, and so voting system is used for the sorting, and the comments are also valuable. So whenever you are seeing something new question which you might think is a little bit trickier, just go over the gate overflow so that you will come to know the other related things to that question. Okay, so I personally found this very useful, especially for the computer network subject and the gate over on and the digital logic. Sorry. The topics are the Boolean algebra, where it's just a normal Boolean algebra which we had studied in our 11th and 12th, like the AND operation, OR operation, XOR, XNOR operation, etc. etc. Then we are having the combinational circuits and the sequential circuits. So this is the highly important part, because the questions are asked here almost every time, and it's important to know these two concepts in the digital logic. It's like the heart of the digital logic. Then we are having the uh, minimization of the terms, like we will be given few terms and we have to minimize them. Now this minimization not just only involves the minimized representation of those terms, but sometimes the question might be like this: uh, how many minimum NAND gates would be required to perform the XNOR operation? Or you will be given few min terms and you will be asked how many NAND or NOR gates will be required to achieve this function, right? So these are the questions which you should definitely be patient while solving, because there are a lot of chances that we might make a mistake by having a during the calculation of the minimized expression itself, or it may happen that we may not be able to use the gate logic properly. So please keep this thing in mind, be patient and be calm during solving the minimization problems, because the thing is that these above three topics, right, and the last one, the numerical representation, these are the four topics which you can solve pretty easily. Once you practice them enough, you can solve them whenever, even if you don't have much of a time, or even you are panic or stressed. So these four topics won't require much of attention, but the minimization is definitely a thing where you need to be very aware what you are solving and what are the what are the further possibilities to reduce those equations. Okay, so please keep that thing in mind. And the next one is the number representation. Here you might be given a question where you would be asked to tell the floating point representation of a particular number, or you will be given the floating point representation, that is the IEEE format, and you would ask to convert that number into a decimal or binary format. Now these are the questions which are very easy. You won't find yourself making mistake in them, because it's a very much manual process. There is nothing new which can surprise you, so don't worry about this. Just keep one thing in mind, that minimization is the thing where you need to be very conscious. You need to be very alert while solving the question, right? So this is about the topics related to the digital logic. And now one advice I would like to give is that digital logic generally don't need much of attention, because you once you learn these things and you start taking the test series, you will be in very good position to solve the questions, and you won't have to read much of a theory again and again. So what I would recommend you is that once you cover the digital logic, please try to revise that subject by giving the test, right? So it will help you to identify your mistakes, and that's the great way to uh, understand what you are lacking and where you are lacking. Okay, and also please take care of your time. Don't waste it. Now I understand that uh, there is a pressure, like I understand that there is an exam, there are placements going on and everything, but just keep working. Don't take much of a stress. The lighter you are, the faster you will be, right? And thank you. Okay, I will end this.